Bushcraft 412, and today's review is on the Marbles Jet Pilot Survival Knife. And I got to do a shout out to MD Prepper, who I recently subscribed to his channel and he subscribed to mine. And going through his videos, I saw he had some Marbles knives and then the fireman's axe and a few other items, and you know, it kind of piqued my interest, and I'd been thinking about buying them for a while, but he kind of pushed me over the edge to go and spend a little extra money and get these things. So I just wanted to give a shout out to him. Once again, it's MD Prepper. He has a nice channel, just starting out. Only been around a couple of months, but he's doing some great videos, some really high quality videos, and he has some amazing gear, so check him out. Here we are with the Marbles Jet Pilot Survival Knife. Show you the model number, MR246. Let's get that out of the way. It has a leather sheath, stitched, pretty generous belt loop, retaining strap with a snap, little pocket with a sharpening stone in there, nothing fantastic. This is functional, but not the greatest out there. The leather's, you know, feels a little cheap, but I'm not going to complain considering the price point of this knife. This is a $14 knife that you can get on Smokey Mountain Knife Works.com. It is www.smkw.com. It seems like they're about the only ones selling marble knives at this time, so that's where I ended up getting it. And this particular knife was on, they were selling it for $20, and they put it up at $14.99, so I jumped on it. Just to give you a brief history lesson here, Marbles did get a military contract, and they designed the Jet Pilot Survival Knife back in, I believe, late 50s, we'll say. And they got outbid by Camillus, and so they never really ended up making many of the Jet Pilot knives, and they always got underbid by Camillus, so they never really got a chance to make these. And I know the original Jet Pilot knives are worth quite a bit. And this one appears to be some kind of either reproduction or whatever that they're putting out. K-bar style leather washer handle, stainless steel finger guard with holes in it for lashing, which I think is very cool, because if you're going to be using this for any kind of wilderness survival, that is a great feature because it gives you the ability to turn this into a spear. You have a stainless steel pommel, flat, so if you're going to be using it for hammering, very nice. The handle actually has a very good fit. Everything is very solid and secure, no wiggle or anything. Very good quality on the handle. Very good job, Marbles, with that. And the blade is about 7 inches. Let me show you. About a 7-inch blade with a kind of unique design, which is kind of the Jet Pilot design, which is a kind of a bowie style, a clip point blade with kind of an upswept edge. Kind of a neat, very intimidating looking blade, if you ask me. Blade length is a little over 7 inches. Overall length is around 13. Weight is about 10-11 ounces. I'm just guessing here. They really don't have a lot of the stats on the website. Blade is manufactured in China. It says stainless steel. It doesn't specify, so my guess, either 420 or maybe like 440A or B. Who knows? A lot of these don't mark it because they use, you know, lower end steels. As for the blade quality, there is one of the things I don't like about this is the full blade thickness. The knife is actually very thick at the base. I like the thickness here, but as you go along, the thickness kind of, the blades taper, it thins out, and it thins out a lot towards the end. So your end is actually very thin. The full thickness ends pretty much right here, and there's only a small space of that, as you can see where the bevel is, because it's a hollow grind. Now you might catch it in the light. It is a hollow grind there. The full thickness of the blade is only this little section right here in this bevel. So I wish there was a little more of the knife that was full thickness for strength, but a $14 knife, I'll live with it. Sharpness out of the box is pretty sharp. It will definitely take hair off your arm and cut paper. Not fantastic, but overall very good. And one of the other neat things I got to mention, you're going to see on this blade as it catches the light, is when they ship this from the factory, see if I can get a good angle, they actually put a nice coating of oil on the blade to prevent any rust, which I do appreciate. A lot of companies don't do that, and sometimes you do get a couple specks of rust on the blade or the edge. Marbles kind of thought ahead and took care of that. Very nice job, guys. The purpose of this knife, I would say, it is labeled as a jet pilot survival knife, and I think this knife is very capable for basic survival tasks. The only downfall is the upswept edge is going to make this kind of poor for any batoning, if you're going to baton wood. And plus, I think the blade is just a little too thin to be batoning. But as for fighting and general utility, not a bad knife. This is not going to take the beating that a K-bar would, and that you're not going to be able to baton wood with it and chop and do all the things you could do with that in the prying, because the edge is just too thin. But overall, not bad at all. And let's pull out some other knives for comparison purposes. This is the M-Tech, or referred to as a lot of times as the M-Bar, which is a 5.5 inch K-bar ripoff that M-Tech makes. And I have a review of this up. So I just wanted to show you that for size comparison. Get this in frame. So as you can see, the marbles is significantly longer. And then for comparison, we also have the Ontario SP1, and as you can see, the marbles is about 1/2 inch longer, but you can see the comparison in blade shape between the two of these. The Ontario, which has more of a K-bar style, has that flat edge, which you can use for batoning, and the full thickness of the Ontario runs full thickness pretty much close to the edge. It's not as tapered as the marbles. I'll show you a thickness comparison on the two of these. The Ontario is actually quite a bit thicker, particularly when it comes to the edge. So, there you go. We'll put these hilt to hilt, so you can see it's only about 1/2 inch longer. So, there are your comparison knives. Of course, if you want to use this for heavy duty, I would say, get yourself a K-bar, because I don't think this would really stand up to really, really hard duty over the course of a lifetime. I think this is a neat little knife to add to your collection. I think it looks very nice. It has a nice coating, nice even coating to it. The blade, I love the upswept design. Very nice, and I think for $14 this is an absolute winner and something to throw into your collection. I think it would make a good knife for skinning large game. Not skinning, but gutting large game, because it is very sharp and it has a nice belly to the blade. So I think it would definitely have some use for that. And I think as gutting, you can really get under the, with the upswept tip, you can get under there and kind of really, if you're familiar with gutting game, I think that tip would be very useful. Filleting fish, things like that, I think this would be an excellent knife for that. I just don't know if it'd be great for hard use. It is a $14 knife. So this is kind of like, a poor man's K-bar. But very neat design. I do like the hollow grind. It's a very large hollow grind too, which is really neat. Overall, very neat design. For 14 bucks, I really like this. It's not the same quality. I got to really stress, because I know people are going to leave comments, well, spend an extra $10 and you can get this. I know there are a lot of good $25 knives, but I think in the, if you got 15 bucks to your name and you want a knife today, this is a really good choice. Really good choice. Very nice. And it's got the kind of K-bar feel to it, so if you like that design and you just can't afford it, this is definitely your poor man's K-bar. Very cool knife. Love it. And once again, thanks to MD Prepper for kind of turning me on to these knives and kind of sparking my interest in getting out there and trying new things. Bushcraft 412, with the Marbles Jet Pilot Survival Knife.